Welcome to another TubeBuddy live stream. My name is Nick Nimmin, and I want to say if this is your first time watching a TubeBuddy live stream, your first time watching TubeBuddy, and you want to learn how to grow your channel from people that study this stuff, people that are in the trenches, so to speak, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss anything. Now, today, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10 most important things that you need to keep in mind when you're trying to grow your YouTube channel. I'm going to go into that, and then after we are finished with that, then I'm going to go into a Q&A for the people that are joining us live, and for the people that are not joining us live, if you're catching this on the replay, then you're going to be able to follow along in the chat. So make sure on your phone that you pop open the chat, or make sure on your desktop computer that you also pop on the chat so that you can follow along. So real quick, I want to give a shout out to Andrew Can, who is moderating the chat today. Andrew, what is going on, man? Nice to see you in here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. To everybody else that's coming in right now, as the notifications are going out for this, I also want to say hello and welcome to the live stream as well. And I'm actually wanting you, just like I'm doing right now as well, to share this out. If you're watching this live right now, share this out on Twitter with me really quick. Join me live on the TubeBuddy channel. Share this out on Twitter real quick so that we can get a nice little crowd going in here, because I like a nice little crowd, you know, so we can all learn together, right? What's going on, Foulfish? Nice to see you in here. So the very first thing that I want to share with you in terms of the most important things that you need to keep in mind, the very first thing is to get very, and I mean very, familiar with your audience retention reports. And the reason that this is so important is because watch time is king on YouTube. And if you are not, what's going on, Doug? Nice to see you in here as well. If you are not tuned in enough to your content, or if you're not making an attempt or making that effort to pull people through your content by studying your audience retention reports, then you are creating a disservice to yourself, to where you could be doing a lot better than you're currently doing if you can learn how to pull people through your content. So basically how you do that is you go into your audience retention reports inside of your analytics, and that's going to tell you, you're going to see a line that's going to go like this, right? And in most cases, it's going to start up here, and then it's going to start trailing off. So what you want to look for is you want to say, okay, people are dropping off around here. Why are they dropping off around, you know, the 10-second mark? Why are they dropping off around the minute mark? Why are they dropping off in these particular situations? And you want to make sure that you try to look for patterns. Take notes on your own content. What's working, what's not working, when are people leaving, what are you doing in those videos at that particular time that people are leaving your video? Because the idea is to get your overall audience retention up so that more people are completing your video, so that more people are engaged in your video, and at the end of the day, so that you can get more watch time on your video, because watch time is the main thing that you want to make sure that you are trying to get as much of as you possibly can. Think of watch time kind of like money. You want to get as much of it as you possibly can, and there's different things that you can do in order to get it. YouTube is the same exact way with watch time. Now, the next thing that you want to keep in mind, number 2, numero dos, I would like to call it, is to make sure that you are optimizing your channel. Now, the reason that this is important to optimize your channel is because when somebody is on your videos and then they come to your channel page, you want to make sure that you are clearly, quickly, and easily communicating to them the type of content that you have to offer so that they can make that choice. So they can say, okay, well, this is something that I'm interested in. This is something that I'm not interested in. If they came from one of your videos and they came to your channel page, that tells you and that tells them that they are interested in what it is that you're doing, and they want to know more about you. They want to know more about the content it is that you have to offer. So if you can clearly define in your channel art, you can say, hey, this is what I do, right? So you have your logo, you have your tagline, whatever it is, and then you say, this is the type of content that I offer, right? So that you can let people make that decision and they'll know for a fact right there when they see that it wasn't a one-off video that they watched. You know, if you have a niche channel to where you're focused on, you know, a particular topic set, then you can, by using your channel art, you're going to let people know that your entire channel is about this particular set of topics. So if they have that interest set where they're like, okay, yeah, well, I'm into those type of topics, then you're going to increase your chances of that person subscribing. So that is extremely, extremely important. In addition to your channel art, doing that, part of optimizing your channel is also making sure that you're putting related channels over in the sidebar, making sure that you have your About Me page filled out with a description of what it is that you offer on your channel, a little bit about you. Maybe if you have a schedule where you upload your videos on particular days, you go ahead and put that on your About Me page. And in addition to that, you also want to make sure that you're using playlists on your channel page so that when people do go from that one video onto your channel page, once they're on your channel page, they can scroll down, right? They see your channel art, and your channel art says, hey, this is what my channel's about. They can scroll down, and they can see more of the content that you have to offer, which means you are increasing your chances of them going deeper into your channel, deeper into more of your content, which means that you're also increasing your chances of those people subscribing to your YouTube channel. So very important to make sure that you have your channel optimized in every aspect of the word or phrase. Next up on the list is SEO, search engine optimization. And the reason that search engine optimization is so important is because, yes, of course, you can rely on getting into suggested videos. Yes, of course, you can rely on just your title trying to get you into, really good spots in YouTube search. But here's the thing. On channels, search is a percentage of the views that come in. In some channels, it's at the very top of the list. The search drives the most traffic. Other channels, suggested drives the most traffic. Other channels, browse features drive the most traffic, and so on. But the thing is, if you're not tapping into SEO while you're doing the other things, while you're, just putting out your normal content, hoping that it comes up in the suggested features and all that, if you're not tapping into the SEO side, to the metadata of what's going on around your YouTube channel or around your YouTube video, then you're basically leaving a bunch of traffic on the table, because that's all traffic that you could be tapping into. Even if it's a 10 or a 20% increase in traffic, that's a 10 or 20% increase in traffic that you're missing out on if you're not optimizing your videos for search. So if you don't know anything about SEO, then watch videos here on the TubeBuddy channel about ranking your videos in search. A lot of us have done these types of videos. Definitely watch them here. In addition to that, TubeBuddy itself, the actual plugin that you install on your browser that you use on your phone, will also help you optimize your content for search so that you increase your chances of discoverability through the search functions on YouTube. Again, it's a percentage of the traffic. It's not the whole pie. It's a percentage of the traffic, but it is a traffic source. There are numbers, lots of big numbers that can come from search. So you definitely want to make sure that you're optimizing your videos for search as well. Livestream universe in the house. What is going on, my man? Nice to see you in here, Ross Brand. All right. Next up on the list, we have, and this one's obvious, but a lot of people overlook it. Build your community. It's extremely, and I'll go ahead and say that again one more time, even in a deep voice, extremely important to build your community, build engagement around what it is that you're doing. Because if you're interacting with your viewers, if they comment on your videos and you're leaving comments with them, they hit you up on Twitter, you're responding to their tweets when they mention you. They hit you up on Instagram, you're responding to them there. You have a Discord. You're hopping into your Discord. You're having conversations there with people. What you're doing is you're building a base of people that, one, you get to know, and two, you're building a base of people that are like, oh, hey, Nick just put out a video. I'm gonna share this video, right? Hey, Game Droid OS just put out this video. And since I watch Game Droid OS, I've been talking to him on Twitter. I talk to him on Discord. He retweets my stuff from time to time. I'm actually going to retweet Game Droid OS's stuff to my audience. I'm going to share his stuff in my community tab, right? So the whole thing with community is, one, you get to make friends. Two, you get to create that network of people that are also advocating for you on your behalf, which is extremely powerful because, you have so much reach, right? But when you can tap into your community and you basically tap into the reach that your community has, and then in addition to that, you're also just letting people know that, hey, I care. Yes, I noticed your comment. I care. Thanks for leaving the comment. Thanks for watching, right? And you're letting people know that, hey, when you leave a comment on my channel and you do have this engagement, when you're leaving comments on my channel and you're liking my videos and all that stuff, I recognize it. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for being a part of my community, right? You really want to make sure that you're engaging and interacting with your community on YouTube and off of YouTube. And another thing that you can do to really amplify this one is you can look, right? Because you start seeing familiar faces in your videos. You can look and say, hey, this person is always commenting on my videos. This person is, every time I upload, this person is usually within the first 10 people that comment on my video, right? And then you can start recognizing them as well, and you can go to their channels, watch their videos. And here's the thing. If you look in your subscriber tab, like the people that are actually subscribed to your channel, you probably have a lot of really talented people that are subscribed to you to where you might actually go and interact in their communities as well, which also amplifies the whole community aspect of what's going on YouTube, which is a really important and a very powerful thing that you can tap into. Next up on the list, along that same line, is collaborate with others. Collaborate with other YouTubers. Collaborate with other content creators, other like-minded people. And the idea behind this, and the reason that this is so important as well, is because when you're collaborating with other content creators, one, you're building relationships like crazy, right? If you say, okay, for the next 3 months, I'm going to try to collaborate with as many people as I possibly can. And you say, that's my mission. For the next 3 months, I'm going to try to collaborate with as many people as I possibly can. I don't care. Let's say that you have 500 subscribers on your channel, or 200 subscribers on your channel, or 1,000. You can say, I don't care how many people this person has watching their channel. I don't care if they have, if I have 1,000 subscribers, I don't care if they have 500 subscribers. I'm still going to collaborate with them because, one, they're also a content creator. They're a like-minded person. This gives me the opportunity to have conversations with people that are doing the same exact thing that I'm doing, right? So you get that opportunity to create friends that way. Two, you're also creating the opportunity to come up with other people, right? So when you are collaborating with other content creators, people that are bigger than you, people that are smaller than you, people that are at the same level than you in terms of view counts and subscribers, when you're doing these collaborations, what you're doing is you are creating a network, right? You're creating a network of people that are basically all in this together, and that is all where everybody's all trying to come up together. And where that gets really, really powerful is you can start referencing each other a lot. You can start sharing each other's content. You can start appearing in each other's videos a lot and things like that, which is also a very, very powerful thing. Now, when you take the actual YouTube specific side, right? We take that human element and we have that side of it, but then we have the other side, the actual YouTube specific side, and we look at collaborations in terms of traffic. Here's something that you want to keep in mind there. If you say, okay, over the next 3 months, I'm going to try to collaborate with as many people as I possibly can, what you're doing over that next 3 months is you're creating an entire network. Let's say that you collaborate with 20 people over the next 3 months, over the next 4 months. What you're doing is you're creating 20 more doorways into your channel from all of these other channels all over YouTube, right? So in addition to what it is that you're doing on your channel, in addition to where it is that you're showing up and suggested, in addition to the search terms that you're ranking for, in addition to the traffic that's coming in from your social shares and from other people recommending you, you also have on-platform collaborations that are pushing traffic your way on a regular basis as those videos get pushed out through whatever methods that the people you're collaborating with use. And as those channels grow, those videos are also going to be on those channels for a long, long time to come. So collaborating with other content creators is extremely, extremely important for making friends and creating additional traffic sources into your YouTube channel. I'm going to raise my seat up there just a little bit. All right. So the next one that we have on the list, and I'm probably going to get some fun stuff for this one. But real quick before we move into this next one, if you are enjoying this so far, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. If you know a YouTuber, just one other YouTuber that you can share this with, to where you think they might get benefit or they might get helped by the information that's being shared here today, make sure that you go ahead and share this video with them, this live stream with them right now. And even if they don't come in live, go ahead and share this with them now, so if they don't catch it live, they can catch it on the replay. So if you could go ahead and do that now, I would appreciate it. So the next thing on the list is production quality. Now, you don't have to have the best gear in the world. You don't have to have, you don't have to have these big, expensive cameras. You don't have to have all this fancy stuff. But it's 2018, right? When you look at Netflix, right, you don't see horrible looking videos on Netflix with bad sound. When you look at TV, you don't see horrible looking images with bad sound. When you look on YouTube, most of the top channels, they all look good and they sound good. Again, it doesn't have to be the top-notch stuff that you're using. It just has to be good enough. You need to have enough lighting. You need to have you need to have a microphone, or at least keep your camera or your phone close enough to you to where your voice is being picked up enough to where people can clearly understand what it is that you're saying. I see tons of channels through my live streams that I do on Saturday where I look at channels. I see tons of channels to where they are putting out content and they don't have that production quality side of things figured out yet. And because of it, it's really hurting them, because what happens is with all of the different content, all of the different options that you have on YouTube, when somebody goes and they watch your video, if your production quality isn't at least at a, I don't want to say respectable level, because I know people are coming at this from different angles and from different, economic backgrounds and stuff like that. But if your production quality isn't at least a standard level, we'll just call it that with quotes. If your production quality isn't at least at a standard level, you're doing yourself a disservice, because people are clicking on the video. They just see a big grain storm because you're recording your videos in a dark room, in your dark bedroom, trying to stay quiet, so nobody knows what it is that you're doing in there. And your audio is bad because the cameras or your phone is really far away from you. Take some time to set up the shot, right? Take some time to make it look as good as you can. Right? If you only have a lamp to work with in terms of a light source, bring the lamp close so that you have enough light, so that it fills enough light on you, and keep your camera close enough so that you can at least get decent audio, so that when people come and watch your video, they don't leave because they think it looks horrible and they think it sounds bad, right? And if you have to pick between the two, always pick improving your audio first, because if you pick improving your audio first, then that can kind of trick people into thinking that your video's better than it actually is if it sounds better. Brian G. Johnson in the house. What is going on, Brian G. Johnson? Nice to see you in here. Greg, Free American Spirit in the house. Joe Roderick in the house. What is going on, man? Nice to see you in here as well. I thought I saw my brother D in the house as well, but maybe I just mistake that for another one, so maybe not. Costume CO, what is going on with you as well? Next up on the list is Watch Time Trap. Now, I want you to get really familiar with Watch Time Trap, and I want you to think about this a lot. What's going on, Evan Carmichael? Evan Carmichael also in the house. But what you want to think about is you want to think about building a Watch Time Trap. And what I mean by that is it's not just saying, okay, I'm going to pull people through my video in terms of audience retention. That is definitely part of it, but and that's one of the most important parts of it. But part of the watch time trap that you're building is you want to make sure that you are using all of the internal features that YouTube has to offer to your benefit. Because if you watch any of my content at any time, you know, or you've heard me say a lot in these live streams or in live streams on my channel, I'm all about creating advantages and reducing the amount of disadvantages that you have, right? So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, YouTube has all of these different features that I can use to build a watch time trap. They have the series playlists that I can use to keep my videos being recommended next to my content, as long as people are clicking on them through other videos that are in that series playlist. I have the pinned comments that I can use. I have cards that I can use. I just made a video about this on my channel, and you can go watch that if you're not sure how to use cards to get more views on YouTube and to get more watch time. That will definitely help you. But you can also use cards to refer to other videos. You can do the handoff to where at the end of your videos you can purposely send people to another video instead of risking the chance of them going off on something else or getting an autoplay or something along those lines. So use all of YouTube's features to build yourself a watch time trap. Even one thing that people often overlook is even in your description, right? All of these different areas to where you can create these tiny advantages that add up over time, even in your description area. When you open up your description, if you don't have links to videos and playlists down in your descriptions, then you're also doing yourself a disservice, because what you're doing is for the people that are going down into your description to learn more about you, to see what it is that you have down there, to see the links that you have and things like that. You need to have a subscribe link down there, that's an auto subscribe link that essentially works just like the subscribe button. You need to have links to playlists down there, and you need to have links to videos down there. So basically, your description box is working for you on your behalf, in addition to all of the other features that YouTube has that you're tapping into. So watch time trap. Watch time trap, watch time trap, watch time trap. And again, look at watch time on YouTube kind of like money. You know, it's like you want to get as much watch time as you possibly can, just like in the real world, so to speak. Just like in the real world, so to speak, you want to get as much cash as you possibly can. Watch time is the cash of YouTube. There's just a fun analogy that I made here right before we did this. Okay, next up on the list is to make great thumbnails that people respond to. And the reason that thumbnails are so important is if your thumbnails are not getting clicked on YouTube, then you're dead in the water. You can have fantastic content. You can have really creative content. You can spend tons of time making content, editing your videos, planning out your content, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to set up this shot. This is going to be the best. People are just going to love this. It's going to be awesome." Right? You can spend all of this time getting all of that together, but if people aren't actually clicking on your thumbnails, they're not clicking on your titles, then, and as part of making great thumbnails, I should have added make great thumbnails and titles to that. But if people are not clicking into your thumbnails, if they're not clicking into your titles, then they're never going to know how awesome your content is. So a lot of people like that I'll see is they, I love these money references in here. We're stacking watch time stacks. Oh, good stuff. So basically, how you want to think of this is your thumbnails and your titles are the doorway to new viewers coming into your channel. Your thumbnails and titles, your thumbnails specifically, are also a way for your current audience to recognize you elsewhere on the platform as well. So because of that, I always recommend to people that you have some type of branding put together. You can do this in a stylistic way. You can, like Evan, who was in here a minute ago, like if you look at his channel as an example, like he has a full branded look to where anytime you see one of Evan's thumbnails anywhere on the platform, you know that's Evan's content without even having to think about it. At a glance, you know what Evan's content looks like. You know what his thumbnails look like. So that way you can say, okay, you know what? This is a video that I'm interested in. Or you can say, I'm a fan of Evan, so I'm going to go and I'm going to watch this video just because I know that he's going to deliver some value, right? So you can leverage your thumbnails not only to get those initial clicks in terms of new viewers coming in, but also to get the clicks from people that are already subscribed to your channel, that are already a fan, that already know that they can count on you for an exchange of their time for the content that you are delivering to them. Danielle cutting the caboose in the house as well. What is going on? We got a party in here. This is a great time today. Beanie Draws in here. Crypto Cruising. Oh, this is fantastic. You know what? I forgot to mention Dr. Sten in here. I forgot to mention this stream in the Discord today. So if anybody wants to hop into the Discord and let people know that we're live right now, that would be fantastic, and I would definitely really, really appreciate it. And I want to let you know as well, if you have any questions, about any of the stuff that I'm talking about or any general YouTube questions that you want me to answer, make sure that you leave them in the link that is down in the description below. It's a form that you go and you fill out, and that form is going to basically going to be something that I can look at and that I can actually pull in those questions, and I can answer them once we get to that portion of the show. The next one up on the list, and this sounds cliche, but it's legit. The next one on the list is to be yourself. You know, it's really important. No, that's actually not the next one on the list. I'm sorry. Being consistent is next on the list. So that was a spoiler, is what we're going to call that one. So being consistent is what's next up on the list. And the idea about consistency, there's a couple different ways to look at this. With consistency, you have the algorithmic side of it. Like, hey, yeah, I want to be consistent. I always want to be pinging the algorithm so that I can keep, a steady set of views coming in and things like that. And I can basically just stay fresh in the algorithm, right? Stay fresh in user histories and stuff like that. But another thing you want to think about is you want to think about consistency on YouTube, just like salespeople think of staying at the top of mind. What I mean by that is people that are real estate agents, they send out cards on birthdays. They send out cards on holidays. They send out cards when people have babies and things like that, because let's be honest, they probably don't care if you're having a baby, but what they do care about, they care about you saying, oh yeah, this is Agent so-and-so. We talked to them about possibly getting a house in the future. It was so nice of them to send me this card. So the idea is that they're thinking about you, right? You stay relevant, you stay fresh in the minds of the people that are watching your content. So when you stay consistent, you have the algorithm side of it, but you also have the thing about staying at top of mind of people. So you don't give yourself a lot of time for people to actually forget about your content, to forget about you, to forget about what it is that you're putting up, especially in situations to where, you know, like if notifications aren't going out or something like that, then when you're putting out content on a regular basis, then let's say that your notifications didn't go out on one video when you're putting out content on a regular basis and you have that video 2 days later or 3 days later that's going out. In that case, I was glitching. In that case, then you know, you might catch the notification on that one. So the idea is basically just staying fresh in the algorithm and staying fresh and at the top of mind for the people that are regularly coming in and watching your content, so that you can get those people coming back and consuming more and more and more of your content. And if I do this for long enough, I might even take off. It's one of those nights. Okay, so next up on the list, and here we go again for if you were here for the spoilers. And real quick, before we get into this next one, I want to say again, if you're enjoying this, make sure that you give this this video a thumbs up. And in addition to that, make sure that you also share it with a YouTuber friend. Anybody that you know that does YouTube, just pick one of them and share this live stream with them right now. If you would be so kind, that would be awesome. Next up, like I was saying a minute ago, is to be yourself. Now, the idea behind this and the idea behind being yourself is people are going to respond to you. And this is important for channel growth because people are going to respond to you as you more than they are going to respond to you acting like another YouTuber, right? So it's really important that you make sure it's really important that you make sure that you come to YouTube and that you approach your channel in the most authentic way possible. Be yourself. Let people respond to you. Let people get to know you. Let them get to like you. Do your own thing. Think out of the box. Don't try to, you know, of course, we all get inspiration from other people. So don't take it in terms of like, oh, I have to do everything completely 100% unique, because we all pull inspiration from everywhere. But you also want to make sure that you take whatever inspiration that you have and you pull it all together to create like a unique and individual channel that is you. So it can be topical. You can talk about all these things that other people talk about, but how you deliver the content, the messaging behind what it is that you're saying, it's all you, right? So that people can get to know you. Be vulnerable. Put yourself out there. Show the world what it is that you have to offer, so that you give people the ability to connect to you and what it is that you're doing on your channel. So those are the 10, and I'm going to go through these again really quick just so that you can have them for you in case you just came into the live stream. Starting at the top again, we have be yourself. We have staying consistent. We have, of course, making awesome thumbnails. We have building a watch time trap. Production quality is important these days. Again, we're in 2018, right? At least have enough lighting on your videos. Collaborate with other content creators. Build your community. Interact with the people in your community. Interact with the people that are leaving comments and watching your videos. Optimize your content for search. Optimize your channel so people know what it is that they're doing and what it is that you're doing, so they know what it is that they can expect from you. And of course, put a very, very strong focus on audience retention. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into some Q&A. So with the Q&A, and I actually have to pull this up here myself because I didn't do it before the stream here. So in the Q&A, if you have any questions about any of the stuff that I just mentioned, if you have any questions about YouTube in general, if you have any questions about the content that you're making or anything like that, go ahead and drop it in the forum right now. At this point in time, looks like we've got 20 questions in there right now, so I'll try to get through these as fast as I possibly can. Starting with Dagu Khan Attar asks, what do you suggest for 500 subscribed channels? So I'm guessing you have 500 subscribers and you're wanting to know what I suggest in terms of what you should do. If you had 500 people subscribe to your channel, then you can get 500 more people to subscribe to your channel. And then if you can get that 1,000, you can get 10,000, 100,000, and so on. Keep doing what you're doing. Learn how to do it better. Enjoy the process. Learn how to do all of the stuff that I just talked about here, and you'll be fine. Because if you can already get 500 people, then you'll be okay. You can get a lot more. It might take you a short amount of time. It might take you a really long time. But the fact that you've already secured 500 subscribers tells you that keep going, right? People are already responding to you. Now what you need to do is just think of, how can I make this better? How can I fine tune it? How can I do this so that people respond to it more? John Hampton, the man from Oz. I like Oz. I like that name. Why do my live streams break down after 15 minutes or less? By breakdown, I mean the audio and picture go awry and out of sync. That would probably have to do with your computer, would be my guess on that. I do a ton of live streaming. So in like the things that I've noticed that happen is anytime I have a problem with my internet or anytime my computer gets bogged down, like if let's say that I fill up my C drive, to the point to where I have like an 8% in my C drive, then I'll notice like everything starting getting weird. My software that I use to stream will start getting weird, and everything will start getting weird. So I would look into that first. I would use like C Cleaner or something like that to kind of clear everything out a little bit, refresh everything, and then go from there. And also if your streams are breaking down after 15 minutes or less, I would also look into the actual stream itself. So if you're currently putting out a 1920 by 1080 frame, I would try reducing it down to 1280 by 720, and then that might give you a little bit more consistency. Next up on the list, Beanie Draws. My man, Beanie, in the house, dropping good questions here. My retention is slowly improving, but could still be better. We can always improve, Beanie. My retention is okay also, but of course, mine can also be a lot better. So I feel you. Sitting between 10 and 20% retention. Do you have any ideas or strategies for how to keep people more interested during a drawing tutorial while still keeping the tutorial informative? I think that if I was doing drawing tutorials to try to, one, stand out, two, to try to make them a little bit more interesting, I would actually draw what it is that I was drawing, and then I would do commentary during, and I would do commentary later, so that I could cut a lot. So that I could, have like this angle, and then I'm talking about it, and then I cut into this angle, to where it's a little bit closer on a particular thing, and then I'm talking about it more, and then I have another angle, so it's like I'm doing it from the top, and then I move the camera down, and then I'm doing it from the side, and then I'm doing it from this side, and then I'm back on the top again, so that I'm always passing it around, so that you keep them interested in terms of, just different angles and stuff like that to try to make it look cool and be edited, in addition to or instead of, just having like an overhead or something like that. So basically just moving your camera around. So like in your case, like let's say that you have one camera to work with as an example. Like let's say you're doing the webcam, right? So what you could do is you could have like your overhead shot, right? So you have the overhead shot. Here I am, and I'm drawing from up here. So then what I'm going to do is while I'm still drawing, I'm just going to pause for a second, and then I'm just going to take my camera and I'm going to move it down here, kind of coming in at an angle, right? So then I have that shot, and then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to get like, a little bit closer down, so I get like a cool, really low angle as I'm like, as I'm, sketching in a particular part where I'm like filling in a particular area with color or something like that. I would also, in your case, Beanie, I would also play with time. And what I mean by that is I would like speed stuff up, slow stuff down, parts to where you're watching it and you think like, what, this part right here is kind of, like I would even say in the video. So I'm just going to speed through this part real quick and then just let it run. You know what I mean? So that's my recommendations to you for that. That's what I would do if I was doing drawing videos anyway. Sensational Life. What is going on? Nice to see your question in here as well. I live streamed from my phone on Saturday just to say Happy Easter. That was cool of you. And I had over 30 likes and comments, but yesterday I went to edit it, and when I clicked on it, it popped up and said the video had been deleted. What could have happened? My content is kid-friendly, and it was only a 3-minute video. So you actually have an option inside of your YouTube settings to archive the video or to not archive the video. So one thing that you might want to do, if the video was deleted, they might not have taken the video down per se. If they did take the video down, it would have been because of like a copyright problem or something like that. But if the video was just gone and you didn't get any strike or community guideline strike or anything like that, then in that case, you might have just not archived the video. You might not have had that setting selected, or you might have actually turned it off, just not knowing what it was, and that could have caused that to get deleted. But you want to look, if you go into your Creator Studio admin, you're going to see your live streaming page in there, and then you can go in, click on Advanced, and then inside of Advanced, I think, is where you'll find that button to archive the stream or not. So I would look into that to double check. Visual Snaps says, do I re-optimize older videos that are ranking for extremely narrow search phrases to less narrow search phrases now that I have more channel authority to do so, or do I just leave the video's SEO the way it is? What I do, a practice that I like to use and a practice that I recommend others to use, if you have a video that's consistently driving traffic and you are not happy with the numbers that it's bringing, you can always adjust the metadata for it. But what I like to do is I like to say, okay, well, if this is bringing me, an extra 10 or 15 views a day, I'm just going to leave it alone, right? I'm going to leave it alone unless I research and I'm like, okay, well, based on the results that are showing up currently in search, I have a really good chance of really squeezing into a good spot here. In that case, then I would change it. But for the most part, if it's getting views and it's at least a steady stream of views, or it's just a slow climb, in that case, then I would just leave it the way that it is. But if you research the specific term that you're trying to rank for, and you think that you can squeeze in terms of the competition that's there, then yeah, feel free to re-optimize it. But let it sit for a while. Give it like 3 to 6 months before you go in and you start changing it, because sometimes videos will take off out of nowhere. They'll take off out of nowhere. You got to hold on, grab something. Doug Houston TV, or YT. You'd think I'd know how to say that by now. Talk about longevity as a factor in channel growth. Okay. Yeah, so basically longevity is a factor in channel growth. I think what you're wanting me to say there is that staying consistent, putting in the long term, basically saying, okay, this is a commitment. I'm gonna commit to making content on a regular basis so that over the period of time I can grow a YouTube channel. Because what a lot of people expect to happen, and I think this is kind of where Doug is going with this, what a lot of people expect to happen is they expect to upload 3 videos, bam, all of a sudden I've got, 80,000 subscribers on my channel. People are loving it. We've got champagne pouring. It's just a wonderful time happening over here because I uploaded 3 videos. But in reality, you uploaded 3 videos and it's like, where are all the views at? Where's all this awesome stuff that's supposed to come with being a YouTuber? You mean I gotta put up a bunch of videos and I gotta work for this over like a long period of time, consistently making content and interacting with people and working this kind of like it's a job in addition to my normal stuff? Yeah, I think that's the longevity part that Doug's talking about. So yeah, sticking it out, committing and saying, you know what? Yeah, we're passing shots around, that whole thing, but committing and saying, okay, this is something that I'm going to integrate into my life, so to speak, so that I can continually upload content and grow my audience over time. And let me tell you something, having that influence and tapping into that as it all goes together, let me tell you, I mean, it's awesome. Absolutely, absolutely awesome. Okay, next question on the list. And the responses just left. Responses cannot be edited. There we go. Got it. And real quick, while I'm pulling up this next one, I do want to remind you, if you haven't yet, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share it with a YouTuber you know. You don't have to share it with every single person that you know, but just go ahead and share it with one other YouTube content creator. See if we can get more people in here, answer some more questions, help some more people out. The grind is real and absolutely, absolutely worth it, without question. Okay, so Bad Platano says, is 1 video a week enough? If that 1 video a week is spectacular, sure. If it's 1 video a week and it's spectacular. Kurdzikistat, or however you say the name, they upload once a month. And they just have a handful of videos, and they've got, millions, I think like 3 million, 3 million or 4 million subscribers on their channel, and they don't have a lot of videos. But for the rest of us, right, the people that are not in that realm, so to speak, if you can get to like 2 or 3, you're going to have a better time, as long as that first thing that I was talking about with your audience retention, right, to where you're actually pulling people through your content. This right here, your audience retention. If you are uploading 5 videos a week or 3 videos a week, but people are not responding to it, right? People are not watching the content, and people are saying like, you know, hey, you know, this is, I'm clicking on your thumbnail, I'm coming in, and I'm staying here for, you know, 30 seconds of your video and I'm out of there. Then in that case, your time is going to be better spent studying your analytics, studying your audience retention reports, really breaking down every single video and trying to figure out why it is that people are leaving and what you can do to prevent them from leaving so that you can keep them watching longer. Once you get that figured out, and once you can keep people watching for a decent period of time on your videos, then ramp up your production and start turning the whole thing into a machine that's going to work on your behalf. My pleasure, Bad Potato. Twisted Throttle says, YouTube recently discontinued their content strategy certification course. Any knowledge about what will be put in its place, or do you have any information about the changes that are being made to lead to the discontinuation of the course? I do not have any information in one way or the other directly related to that Twisted Throttle. Debts Tree says, how do I unlock the community tab on my YouTube channel? You need to get 10,000 subscribers on your channel. If you have 10,000 subscribers on your channel already, then just hang tight, hold your horses. They are passing the community tab around. It's just kind of like just because you hit 10,000 doesn't mean that you're going to get it tomorrow. In some cases that happens, but in other cases, you know, you might have to wait, you know, a month or, you know, something like that before you actually get it. A friend of mine just crossed 10,000, I think about a month and a half ago, and they just got the community tab. So just hang in there. They're doing it. Dusty Porter in the house. What is going on, my man? Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Dusty Porter, by the way, has an awesome, he also streams here on the TubeBuddy channel, and he has an awesome Discord for his Patreon. So if you want to get in on an awesome Patreon group, a Discord specifically for the Patreons of Dusty Porter, click on his channel name, go to his YouTube channel, click on his Patreon link, join his Patreon, and get access to his Discord. It is awesome. A lot of really cool people in there sharing a lot of really cool information. A great community that he's built, which is something I was talking about earlier in terms of the importance of building a community around what it is that you're doing. Let's see here. Benson's Emporium says, do you recommend competitions to grow subscribers? It depends on the competition. So here's the thing. If you're doing like giveaways and competitions and things like that, then you have to think about what are the intentions of the people that are there. Yes, if you're throwing out this big wide net saying, hey, I'm going to give away a camera, I'm going to give away a TubeBuddy coffee mug, right? And you have all these people that are coming in. You have, you know, 8,000 people that come in to get a chance to win that TubeBuddy coffee mug. Sure, out of that 8,000 people, there's probably going to be a percentage of those people that are going to like your content enough to stick around to come in and watch more videos and things like that. However, is that amount of people going to be enough to make holding that contest in the first place even worth it for you? In most cases, it's not. But, you know, experiment. Every channel's different. One thing that I've learned from getting the opportunity, and I call it an opportunity because it's given me tons of insight that I would have never had. But the opportunity of working with other people and helping other people grow their YouTube channels is you find out really quick that every channel is its own unique unicorn entity, so to speak, right? How people respond to stuff, how people respond to their creator, what works, what doesn't work. Even if you have two channels that are in the same exact niche, right? They're targeting the same exact audience. The channels can get drastically different results, and they can get drastically different engagement. They can get drastically different everything, even if they're the same size and all of that, because each channel is so uniquely different in how people respond to it, how people are responding to the creator, and that's where being yourself comes in handy, and how the algorithm treats it, because there's all of those elements that are being factored in. So it really gives you some really cool insight in terms of letting you know that there's not like a blanket thing, right? It's not like a blanket fix. Hey, just do this, and then everything's going to be fine. You can just sit back and ride it to the beach, right? It's not like that at all. And Andrew can back me up on that because he does the same thing. Crypto Cruising, what is going on, my man? Nice to see you dropping questions in here as well. Crypto Cruising is in my Discord, so fantastic to see Crypto Cruising hanging out here in the TubeBuddy stream as well. Do your channel tag, not videos, channel tag mean much? I keep getting told different things. So your channel tags, in a nutshell, basically tell YouTube what it is that your channel is about in a nutshell, just like your tags in a video tell YouTube what your video is about. So it's one of those things that it's a feature, use it. If it becomes 100% not relevant, they'll take it out. So right now, use it because it's still there. If they stop using it, then, or if it becomes not important, they're not going to have it there and they'll take it out. So for now, keep using it. Free American Spirit, what is going on? How do I thank people for subscribing when I get a notice? That's a fantastic question, Greg. One thing that you could do when you are, when your channel, when the momentum on your channel is enough that as people are subscribing, you can say, okay, well, I can send a message to this person. Then you can go into you can click on their name when you get that notification email, go to their YouTube channel, send them a message, handwrite them a message. Hey, hey, my name's Greg. I saw you subscribe to my channel. Just wanted to say thanks. If there's any video ideas that you have, that you think, any videos that I could make that would be of interest to you, definitely let me know. And I'll see what I can do. Besides that, again, thanks for subscribing and I'll see you around, and just make it simple. Just shoot them a message through their About Me page, on their YouTube channel. Just send them a direct message that will go straight into their messages, there. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. Let's see here. So next up on the list, we have Bo Ganara. I like that name, Bo. I have a family member named Bo. How often should we build new playlists? It depends on how often you're uploading, but I would build new playlists on a regular basis. By regular basis, I mean I would try to do at least once a week, just for the sake, as long as your production schedule accommodates that. I would try to do at least once a week, and instead of thinking of it in terms of like I'm just going to make a playlist for the sake of making a playlist, think of it in terms of content strategy, like as a whole. So instead of saying, okay, should I build a new playlist just for the sake of putting my videos in it? Think of it also in terms of how can I create my content so that it will support me building playlists on a regular basis? So how can I build my content so that, let's say that I make my videos in like 5 video chunks or 4 video chunks so that I can make each playlist that I create a series playlist that's gonna house those particular videos so that they keep being referred to each other and things like that as long as people are responding to them. But think of it from those terms in terms of how to build your content so that you can fit it into playlists more than just building playlists for the sake of building playlists. Brandon Rex says, hey, I'm considering starting up a brand new channel from scratch. Fantastic. I've learned a lot from this channel from a growth standpoint. Anything else I should consider doing for growing a channel from nothing? Absolutely. So the part about playlists that I just talked about, take that into consideration when you're putting your launching content together. When you're like, okay, for this first month, for this first 2 months, for the first 6 months of my channel, every single video that I put up is going to be, Nick is streaming with the boss in the chat. Every single video that I put up is going to be part of a series playlist. And the reason for that is so that you can create all these different playlists that are all directly related to each other so that you can cross-reference those playlists with each other, and so that you can build the videos in a series playlist so you can increase the chances of those videos being served next to each other on YouTube in the suggested column, coming up next in the autoplay and things like that, because YouTube specifically says that if you have a series playlist, all of the videos in that series playlist, you are increasing the likelihood of the other videos in that series playlist being displayed next to any other video that's played in that playlist or in that series playlist. Creeper's Edge asks, what does a playlist help with? Binge watching. It helps with binge sessions, people being able to sit back and just burn through your content. And it also helps, the series playlist specifically helps with connecting your content to each other, letting YouTube know that your videos are directly related to each other through a series playlist, specifically a series playlist, and that increases the likelihood of one of your videos being shown in the autoplay, and it also increases your chances of the other videos in that playlist being suggested next to the video that they're watching if it's any other video in that playlist. And I pulled that one from chat instead of doing here. Crypto Country Boy. There's a lot of crypto people in the house, it looks like. Whoa, that one just disappeared. I went back to what? Hold on, I just went back to one here. Give me 1 second here. Beanie. We've got Sensational. We've got Visual Snaps that we did. We got Doug that we did. We've got Bad. There. I'm not sure how I just reset that. 1 second here. We just hit that one. We got Greg. We got Bo. We got Brandon. And we've got the Ryder here. Oh, okay, maybe that one was taken out, maybe? Not sure. Okay, yeah, we got that. Okay, Nige Ryder says, is there a good time to use Patreon? What is the best way to use it? So my area of specialty is more YouTube, but Patreon is a... So my Patreon is a... the best way that you should use Patreon is anytime that you have value to offer, right? So if there's something in addition to what it is that you are currently doing on your channel, to where you can say, okay, I'm going to offer some additional value to people inside of my Patreon, or I'm just going to make my Patreon as a way for people to support me, then in that case, go ahead and make it. Because, you might get $10 out of it, but as your channel grows, as your influence grows, as you promote it, because I don't even think I've made a video about Patreon for myself, but the more that you have it out there, the more likely you are that people are going to go and join your Patreon. Let's see here. Next up on the list. How do you get comfortable on camera? How can I be hot like Nick Nimmin? That's what I'm talking about. That's the best question of the day right there. How can I be hot like Nick Nimmin? Okay, so how to get comfortable on camera. This is a great question. I love talking about this. So a little story real quick, a little quick backstory. When I uploaded my first video to YouTube, I was scared to death. I was petrified. I was uncomfortable. It was so bad. I was to the point to where my very first video, I was wearing makeup. My first few videos, I was wearing makeup because I was concerned about how people were going to judge me, because, like my skin, I got like, as you can see here, I got like a blemish up here. I've got like some red like around here, like that whole thing. So I'm thinking like, okay, people are going to judge me and this, that, and other thing. So I wore makeup. I put on foundation and concealer and all that stuff, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth. I was scared about going on camera, so I had to go through a process myself about becoming comfortable on camera, and I actually made that first video about how to be comfortable on camera so that I could use that video to get me over the hump and share with people what it was that I was feeling in terms of, worrying about people judging me, worrying about family members seeing it, worrying about friends seeing it, and things like that. And but on the first video, so Costume CEO saying in the first, or that doesn't even seem that way on camera, but in that first video, like I made a handful of videos before that first video, and they never even went to YouTube because I was getting over those hangups, right? So one is to practice, right? Practice being in front of the camera. Two, one thing that helped me when I first started making videos, I don't have to do it that much anymore, but one thing that helped me when I first started making videos is I would get active, right? I would move my arms around, I would loosen up, I would sing a little bit, or I would speak loudly, louder than I would in the video, and things like that, so that when the camera came on, that my energy from doing all of that would come down a little bit, but I would still have enough energy that I could just be comfortable and a little bit more relaxed because I was loosened up, instead of sitting there like, hey, today we're going to be talking about this particular thing, right? So it just loosening up is the idea. So loosening up, talking to yourself a lot, in terms of, like, let's say that nobody is home, right? And you are like thinking of video ideas, thinking about things that you would talk about in your videos and stuff like that. Practice saying it. Practice saying what it is that you would say in a video, so you can get used to talking out loud while you're by yourself. And it sounds simple, but it really helps in a major way. If you can practice talking while you're by yourself, talking out loud, then it's really going to help you out in terms of not feeling weird when you're standing in front of the camera. Because part of that discomfort when you're in front of the camera is just not being used to verbally expressing yourself outwardly, because we do all this stuff in our heads, right? So being able to actually say it out loud while you're doing other stuff, so that when you get in front of the camera, it can definitely be beneficial for you. So I kind of went on a rant with that one. My apologies. JD's Asia Travel. Oh, traveling in Asia. I love it. I'm in Thailand. Hit me up sometime if you pass through here. I have a canned response that I use to welcome new subscribers and remind them to share my videos and hit the bell for notifications. Is this a good practice? And is there anything else I should mention in the communication? Okay, so if you have, I have the same thing. So basically, I have a canned response that I use from TubeBuddy, and or in TubeBuddy, in the TubeBuddy app, or as a drop down in my thing when I'm doing it on my desktop. And in that canned response, I do the same thing to where if it's a new subscriber and they're like, hey, I just subscribed, I'll say, hey, you know, awesome, you know, thanks for subscribing, welcome aboard. I have my little icon or my little emoji there with the glasses and the little fist bump, and then sometimes I have two that I use. Sometimes I have that one, and then the other one is, I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Thanks for subscribing. I do a live show every Saturday, so if you want to get your YouTube questions answered, make sure that you come over and you watch my stream on Saturdays as well. And I just put that out there for that. So in terms of that communication, what I would recommend is basically just communicating all of the additional stuff through your videos and the value that you provide them in your video, and then focus on your canned response on reminding them to share it. Hey, if this video drove you to subscribe, make sure that you also share it with somebody else that you think might enjoy it, and reminding them to click the bell. I think that's fantastic, and I think that you're doing it right already. Chet says, how do I get a sponsor? A couple different ways you can get a sponsor. You can go through a service like FameBit. You can go through a service like Grapevine Logic. Or you can go like this, get your fingers all nice and juiced up and stretched out and like comfortable, and then pull out your keyboard, hop on LinkedIn and hop on other places and start reaching out to people, start trying to make connections, start trying to reach out to brands. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. Start reaching out to brands and other people that would be potential people that you could work with, and try to go that route. And try to think of sponsorships not so much as a, hey, I just want somebody to pay me to make one video. Try to think of how you can add value so that you can actually build like a long-term relationship instead of it just being like a one-off video, because that's where the real big wins come in terms of YouTube. Let's see here. Shodom13 says, no question, just love your content. You've helped me so much. High five, fist bump to you. Thank you so much for that. And on that note, I want to say that I have a podcast that I need to hop on. So I'm going to be heading off of here. That podcast is actually, if you go to facebook.com/OwenVideoX, then you'll be able to join in the live stream that is going on there on Facebook as well. And I want to say that if you have not installed TubeBuddy yet, make sure that you go ahead and you install it right now at TubeBuddy.com/install. It is the number. If you're not familiar with it and you just got this notification somewhere in YouTube and this is like your first time being exposed to it, go ahead and install it. It's going to help you with your channel. It's going to help you optimize your channel. It's going to help you grow your channel. It's going to help you in all aspects of being a content creator here on YouTube. So thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for watching. Andrew, again, thank you for being a awesome moderator and being a part of the stream and waking up early, because I know that's rough. Waking up early, I feel you there. I'm not an early bird myself. Dusty, thanks for stopping by. Beanie, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope that you learned something. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. And for the replay, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and share this out with one YouTuber friend. That's all I'm looking for. One YouTuber friend. Share it with them so that they can watch it on the replay. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Oh, and my channel's in the description down below if you want to learn more about this stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and the TubeBuddy channel if you want to learn more about growing your channel, making videos, and all types of YouTube-related stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and I mean